from leaving a family-owned steel business to starting a new age spices brand? Have you reached the ultimate goal that you wanted to?
I found out spices as a category where India was famous about that. My next milestone is to become #1 player in the e-commerce segment.
Indian food is known for the spices, but at the same point in time, we say that this as an industry has not seen significant changes in the past few decades. How do you see that change happening?
Spices as a category in India is considered as one of the most adulterated categories.
You're trying to create ZOFF as a brand which is more young, more quirkier, more modern. How do you blend that?
It's always interesting for a consumer when something which is being sold in a traditional way comes in a modern feel. Today, if you see, the behavior is changed of any consumer. Today's young generation, now they have become a decision maker.
You've started working with Shilpa Shetty as a brand ambassador for ZOFF. What has been the thought behind it?
I think Shilpa Shetty, she's a health icon. And that time when we were starting, we found out that she can be a good face for our brand, where we can transition our thoughts, our perception, our brand values through her.
How to build a personal brand and what not to do. How has been your experience in dealing with investors?
If you see Shark Tank, there are like 30-40% founders that are coming from small cities. There are opportunities also and there are challenges also. You get talent at low cost. If you are not able to get those talent, there are consultants who can really help you.
When does a founder start saying that, I need to delegate my work?
The way a founder can do a sales, no one can do.
Welcome to our next episode around CXO Speak. For our audience, Akash is the visionary behind ZOFF, India's one of the fastest growing new age spices brand. Akash, your journey has been remarkable, from leaving IIT to doing a business management course, from leaving a family owned steel business to starting a new age spices brand. The change has been an only constant, it seems like, with you. But have you, arrived? Have you reached the ultimate goal that you wanted to?
So thank you, Arunji, for inviting me in your program. See, I come from a Marwadi family, and in Marwadi family, business runs in the blood. So the idea about starting ZOFF, shifting from our family business, starting a new idea, because I was sent to hostel when I was 6. So I became independent at a very early age. And when you get this type of situation, you start thinking differently. So the idea was that I want to create something of my own, because business was in the blood. I did IIT because I was good at studies, and that time, if you're good at studies, you are being asked to join engineering colleges, or you'll take science to crack IIT. But that never excited me. I did IIT, I cleared it in my first attempt, but anyhow my conscience didn't allow me, and I went for BBA and MBA. I wanted to do business. I didn't want to work under someone, or wanted to gain knowledge about business. So when I came back from Australia after completing my MBA, I joined my father's business, but that business never excited me. So I started working on different category where I can build something of my own. So food and technology was something which struck me that time, because that was the growing category. Because of my exposure, I came to know that in India, in next few years, these two categories will boom. And today you can see how technology has changed, how the company has grown, any tech company, and even in food because of the population. In India, you come up with any product, you have 140-150 crore population to serve them. So that was the idea, and while my research, I found out spices as a category where India was famous about that. But in India, nothing was changed from last so many years.
Yeah.
So here you find opportunity. Like the way I was thinking that time, I got to know that this is a big industry, and if you try to do something in a different way, definitely consumer will like it.
Yeah.
Because time was changing, and we started this after research was done. We wanted to bring something different in terms of its process, in look and feel, the way we are selling. Because if you are coming up with the same look, same feel, or same type which other brands are doing, I think consumer won't give you that level of preference.
Yeah.
Because if everything is same, then why they will change? And whenever you start any business, you don't want the entire population to use your product. Even a small cohort, if they like your product, I think you can easily do that business.
Oh yes.
I feel like if I have 1 million customer who are my regular user, and if they are consuming 500 rupees of spices every month, it's a 50 crore business.
Yeah.
So look at the size of the business, what you can make in India.
That's the beauty of India.
That's the beauty of India. Like any consumer product,
Yeah.
if consumer likes it, you just need to have a set of
You just
customer
need to hit the right chord.
Yeah, you don't need a crore customers.
Oh, yeah.
They will become slowly and gradually. But in your initial years, if you have a limited number of customers, and if they become your regular user, I think you should feel like you have hit the jackpot.
Oh yes.
So our journey has just started. It's been 6 years. We are into spices business, living our steel business, and we believe we have just started. Like it's just 10-15% what we have envisioned, and I think probably next 5-7 years, probably we want to become one of the largest player in online segment, especially in spices. I won't say that I want to become the number one, because there are players, I respect them. They are in the market from last so many years. Maybe if my products performs that well, maybe I can become number one. But the immediate target is at least in a particular category. So I feel that e-commerce is the space where I can become the number one. So if you cannot become number one in the entire category, then you can think of a small milestone. So my next milestone is to become number one player in the e-commerce segment. And once I achieve that, then I'll feel okay, we have done something. But
So
it's
the journey
just
has
beginning.
So the journey has just begun.
Yeah, journey has just begun.
Interesting. And you're talking about Marwadi families, and there's been a tradition in Marwadi families wherein the son takes over the father's business. But in your case, it's just other way around. The father has moved away from the traditional business and joined the son's business, and I must say that's remarkable.
Yeah, so see, my father has always been a risk taker, and I think he has seen the potential in ZOFF, and we want to be fully devoted to this. You can have multiple businesses, but anyway, when there is a core sector business, you have to give some time.
Yeah.
And we wanted that the stage at which we are, we want to take it to next level, and that cannot be done with everyone's effort. So that's why my father also felt the same, and I think few months back we have completely exited from the steel industry so that we can really focus on
Focus on one thing.
Yeah.
No, frankly speaking, apart from all the serious discussion that we're going to be having, the father-son relationship is a unique one, wherein it's not very easy. You generally see that it's not very easy for a son to start working with father, because he is somebody who's done it for good 30 years before you have come. And in your case, it is just other way around. There has been a roller coaster from starting the business, having some hard days, and then coming out of it, and now reaching a stage wherein you can say that it is kind of an established brand, and the father has been there throughout the phase. So I'm sure this is a separate discussion that one can have for good 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Learning how to have that relationship, because people of our age can actually relate to it, that the father-son relationship is a bit of that spicy relationship. It's not like a mother and a son kind of.
Yeah, exactly. And I can say we have been lucky in this matter that throughout this journey, our father is with us supporting us, not only in the business, believing us, like when we are going through the rough phase, because whenever you are building a startup, you'll go through multiple challenges. So there should be someone who has the same belief what you have. And I think we've been lucky that our father has the same belief. And I think whatever we are today, maybe if during that bad phase, if he would have been backed out, I think would have not able to reach this position. So I think that in this matter, we are lucky enough.
Great. So why spices is one question that, any which ways everybody asks about it. Spice is something that actually describes India in many ways. It's been there, part of Indian kitchens for, for ages now. Indian food is known for the spices. But at the same point in time, we say that this as an industry has not seen significant changes in the past few decades. How do you see that change happening specifically within India and globally?
So see, if you see about the global food standards, they are very high. And spices as a category in India is considered as one of the most adulterated category. And from so many years, we have been witnessing that there have been so many cases, so many raids where, adulterated spices are being sold in the market. Because mostly consumers are looking for reasonable spices, and that can only be manufactured when you are mixing something with that. But globally, Indian spices, like around 80% spices is exported from India. And spices has a very good value over there, because without Indian spices, you cannot think of Indian food. So the idea is, when you are giving a good quality spices, even in India, there are consumers who prefer like this, because now everyone is focused toward their health. And as there has not been any changes, like major changes, there has been changes, but not major one. Consumers are looking towards that, because in their entire meal throughout the day, spices is being consumed almost in all the meals. So when you are intaking that level of spices in your body, you should get a good quality product. And I think it's been year everyone was waiting for such thing, when this trend will change, when they will get good quality product. And I think from last so many years, the trend has got changed. Everyone is aware about the good quality spices, and even consumers ready to pay. So with us coming the market last 6 years, Gelly selling 100 crore spices, which is considered as one of the stickiest product, is very difficult to change. And if consumer is buying ZOFF, being a new brand, the e-commerce, quick commerce consumer, who are particularly health conscious, this indicates that this was being waited for so long. And I think we have been lucky enough to step in during that time when this changes is happening in India. The revolution the technology is bringing, the revolution about the health. So from last few years, you can see that the Gen Z millennials, they're more focused towards the good quality products. And I think that's the idea, that come up with a good product when everyone is not following in that way. Start communicating in a good manner so that they can relate, okay, we are looking for this product. And there's a hardly difference of cost. It's just about the mindset. It's just about being ethical what you are selling. So we are just trying to do that, catering to today's consumer.
So you're saying a good quality spice does not mean that it's going to be costing a bomb. It
not
is
at all.
Slight premium over.
Slight premium or maybe same price.
Maybe at a.
Is the retailer and the trader, they are making money. Consumer is being sold at the same price which the premium product is also selling. Same price or maybe 5-10%, that hardly matters, because spices portion is very small, of the entire grocery.
Of the entire food bucket.
So it would hardly matter, if you're buying a good quality product, hardly it will make a difference, even for a low income family also, because it's directly related to health. There was a research where, you know, most death was happening not because of, you know, alcohol or cigarette. It was because of the adulterated food which you consume. And I think, as I mentioned, spices is one of the highest adulterated category. So indirectly it's, you know, anyway it's affecting your body. So paying little premium or maybe higher price, I think it won't make any difference to any income group. Rather, they should look for good quality spices.
So you're saying the standardization in the spices is something that can actually change.
I think it has already
The whole
started.
domain
You know, FSI
significantly.
has become strict about spices. So going ahead, gradually it will change, and even consumer has started, you know, witnessing this, that okay, they have started getting good products. So that's why we are able to sell through e-commerce, quick commerce, because they are getting these products even it's not available in the local stores. So local stores mostly have local players, or I think the players who are just trying to sell the adulterated product. So because they also look for their margin, how they can make margin. But all these online platforms, e-commerce, quick commerce, they
You
won't keep,
democratize this.
they won't keep any local product or a related product. Once they will have some feedback that this product is not good, they won't sell. So it means if we are able to sell through online, especially the quick commerce, e-commerce, it means it's a good product, and consumer, they want good product.
Makes sense. Makes perfect sense. So, and is it that the Khade Masale that you are trying to position ZOFF as a only brand which is selling packaged Khade Masale? Is that a part of that? Because within the spices brand, this is one niche which has never been focused on by anybody, and as soon as you add a standardization or a premiumization to it, it becomes a very clear product which is standing outside anybody else.
Exactly. So India market is nearly a 1 lakh crore market, and you'll be surprised that 70% is unorganized, and under 70%, 70 to 80% is whole spices, which is highly unorganized. So there are brand in powder spices, but there is not a single brand which can say we are truly national and we are a branded, in whole spices category. So we saw this gap because out of total spices a household consume, 50% is whole. So whole spices you use in cooking, you grind it, you grind it as per your taste. So we saw this gap, and Khade Masale, you can see whether it's pure or not. The other part of alteration. So there are consumer, who wants to grind their own spices. They don't believe in powder spices or any brand. So today also, if you do a survey, you'll find out that I think 30, 40, 50% of the consumer, they are buying whole and they are grinding in their home. So here also we saw the gap, and we believe that the way the trend is changing, about the good quality product, I think whole spices will play a major role, because that will give trust to consumer. And once they feel that, okay, the whole spice is good, so maybe there's a good chances that they can buy our powder spices also.
Makes sense. But with this as a background, spices are something which, given that it is ages old, is related to the traditions in India, right? While on the other hand, you're trying to create ZOFF as a brand which is more young, more quirkier, more modern. How do you blend that? A traditional product in a quirkier way.
So it's always interesting to build up a traditional product in a modern way. There have been so many brands who have tried to do this. So if you see in sugar, Madhu Sugar is a branded product. Earlier sugar was sold loose. If you see oil, especially Saffola, I think they've just taken to next level. So I think we also feel in the same way that it's always interesting for a consumer when something which is being sold in a traditional way comes in a modern feel. Today, if you see, the behavior is changed of any consumer. Today's young generation, now they have become a decision maker. They will suggest or they will buy if they feel, okay, this product look interesting. They won't wait for anyone to take suggestion. So this is something which I have realized, and what I feel is I don't want to target to all those consumer where 50, 100 brands they are already targeting. They already have a stickiness. Rather target those set of customers who are ready to change, who wants a good quality product. And once they start using my product, like I have an entire range of spices. If they try 2, 3 products and if they feel good, maybe they'll keep adding, other range also. So my idea is you buy other brands 10 products, buy my 1 or 2 product. I am happy with that. I never want that.
I've got entry into your kitchen.
Yes, just give me entry. Just check my quality. Just check our product. Just check the look and feel, our Ziploc packaging, our way of grinding, our whole spices. Do have a check. Then maybe you can decide, because I don't think in spices particularly a single brand you'll find in anyone's kitchen. There will be multiple brands. So I just want space in their home so that maybe their 10-20% of the consumption is from ZOFF.
Got you. Apart from this, one thing that we have noticed with you is that from the very first day when you started ZOFF, even before the COVID hit in, which means that even before the e-commerce and quick commerce was a prevalent force in terms of sales, you've started working with the celebrity. You've started working with Shilpa Shetty as a brand ambassador for ZOFF. What has been the thought behind it? Why her? And how did it happen?
So, perception is one of the important thing in branding. How you position your product, how a consumer is able to perceive about your brand, that really matters today. Our idea was to become a national player in India. To have that tag, to have that perception, you need someone who can influence consumer. And I think Shilpa Shetty, she's a health icon. And that time when we were starting, we found out that she can be a good face for our brand, where we can transition our thoughts, our perception, our brand values through her. Maybe we could have taken someone else, but I think some of the values could have been missed, and she was the perfect choice during that time. And I can say we have been lucky in this matter that throughout this journey, our father is with us, supporting us, not only ticks which you are doing, which a consumer is doing, about our packaging, about technology, having a celebrity, trying to sell in a different way. So there are factors that were helping, to get conversion. Because anyway, there are multiple products available in the market, but if a consumer will see, okay, there are so many different things we can see in the brand, let's try it out. And my idea was to just enter the kitchen. So she was one of the ideas, she was one of the perception which can go into the consumer mind. That's why we decided that, okay, let's go with her, let's bring her in our initial days, so that from the starting day only we can create that base.
Makes sense. On a lighter note, you were talking about being an icon, Shilpa Shetty being an icon, focusing on health. You've also been an icon since your Shark Tank appearance. Your hairstyle has been, so to say, a signature, look that you have had, and then you've undergone a change. Is there some other change coming in the way you look in the coming months?
So see, today there are celebrity entrepreneurs. I think after Shark Tank, personal brand has become one of the important thing in the startup ecosystem. Consumer has started relating with the founders also, because if they are consuming your product, they want to see how a founder thinks, how a founder reacts in the public, how a founder talks, what are his values. So that has started playing a very important role. I think thanks to Shark Tank, and we were lucky that in season 2 we got this chance. And being a founder, there has to be some signature style or statement. Every founder you see, like, who has become famous, like if you think of Aman Gupta, he's a different personality. Anupam is a different personality, or Namita, or Vinita, everyone. So when I wanted the same, that if I am growing, if my brand is targeting all these Gen Z millennials, so there should be something which where like they can recall me. And in this like 2 years before I just got my haircut, I think people who used to recognize me because of my hair. Like if I'm going somewhere traveling, so they used to recognize, okay, we have seen you in Shark Tank. So I think having a signature style in your personality really helps. Because today founder is the face of the brand, and I want to become my brand face, and even our new ad gonna release where me and my brothers are also there, so that customer can recollect, and they can connect, okay, we have seen you in the Shark Tank. So that was the idea.
Interesting. And this is a new trend that we are any which way seeing. A number of startup that you talked about, wherein the personal brand of founder is helping the businesses big time.
Exactly. Even if you see the traditional brand also, I think earlier the founders who had not coming to the limelight, even they have started working their personal brand.
But historically, in the spices brand, MDH has been a...
Yeah, so you can say, I think MDH, I think the Dalaji, he has been the trendsetter, I can say.
He's been the trendsetter,
So,
way earlier than the others.
No entrepreneur was so much famous like Dadaji, I think.
Exactly.
And I think it started from there, but now it's in the fashion. But yeah, it really said that it started from his time. Like he's been doing, he's been coming
way ahead of the time.
Popular, from last 20-30 years.
Yeah. And even today, you recognize that brand.
Yeah. So that's a ideal brand. I think in spices, I think MDS is one of the most powerful brand. And I'll say we've been lucky enough, because even through Shark Tank and even through different media or maybe LinkedIn and various posts, I think today's consumer, they've started feeling that maybe we are following the path of MDH, and maybe we can reach to that level. And really, that's really a good compliment for the brand, that consumer had started thinking that way.
That's interesting. That's pretty interesting. And from the perspective of brand, personal brand, and for the benefit of our audience, would really want to touch upon this piece wherein you've lived this life wherein the char masala, char brands wala meme that kind of helped gain that popularity that you and Ashish got to getting an investment and now obviously you become a face which is very well recognized in the startup world and in the consumers as well. So for our audience, for the budding entrepreneurs and promoters who are trying to build their own brand, there be some cues or some advice that you would want to share with them, as in what to do, how to build a personal brand, and what not to do, or what to be avoided in such a situation?
As I was talking earlier, personal brand today has become a necessity for any founder, because consumer has started connecting with the founder where they are consuming any new products. And the best way to today building your personal brand is through LinkedIn. So I think through LinkedIn, you can convey your thoughts, your ideas, you can connect with so many other founders, you can network with the startup ecosystem. So I think LinkedIn has become one of the major tool, for any entrepreneur. And I think every founder should use LinkedIn in a very extensive way, because there's so much in LinkedIn. Apart from that, if a founder can get chance to be in Shark Tank India or maybe any platform like that, that also give an edge to any founder. Because if you'll see, I think there are more than 600 founders who have pitched, and in last 4 seasons, and I think in US it's been there from last 15 years. I think consumer is seeing you, entire nation is seeing you, and there's a good chance if you're able to create your brand perception. And I think for us, it has really worked. I think the level of popularity which we got, the brand recall, the brand perception which we have got, I think that's immense. I cannot say that something better could have been happened, what happened with us through Shark Tank.
Yeah.
That's one of the life-changing moments. Apart from this, going here and there, various networking events, getting chance to speak in the event, because there are so many events going on across India, and if you get chance to become a part of that, that's also help you in personal branding. So I'll say that has become one of the important aspects of any founder. The way we use Instagram, that's for fun, but I think LinkedIn as overall can really help. And I think with various way, whatever can be done, I think through PR, every founder should try to build up their personal brand, and I think it's important in today's time.
I think in your case, you've been very helpful with the fellow entrepreneurs within your region wherever you're working, and I believe that is also something that has helped gain popularity, because what you give out comes back pretty.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I said, like the networking, the startup ecosystem. I think if you are there, if someone else is talking about you, if you are vesting, then only you will be considered.
Yeah.
Because today's time, what is being seen, I think that's being given more value. So I think there are various steps which any founder should do. The basic one is to start with LinkedIn, and followed by whatever come in their journey, to just improve their personal brand.
You also moved from a family-owned business to a investor-driven business, or so to say, a private equity-owned, invested business, which actually is a sea difference, right? Because the way you work, the way controls work are slightly different. How has been your experience? I'm sure you've been in touch with investors for a period of time, for a decent period of time. You've been very vocal about it. How has been your experience in dealing with investors, their expectations, and seeing them as a partner into the business?
See, investor are those people who just don't put money in your startup. They come up with lots and lots of expertise because they have seen thousands of business performing or non-performing. So when you get chance, if someone is investing in your company, I think any founder should feel lucky. You put your 100 crores, I don't think it will create that much value if any extra investor put even 5 crores. Because there's a trust. If someone is putting money in you, there's a trust. We need to understand that. And we should respect that. It's not that if an investor is coming, they'll try to acquire your company or they'll try to sit in your company. They are just there to pass on their expertise, whatever they have experienced from last so many years. They are there to make you a solid entrepreneur. It's not that we have got funds, so I'm just saying that they are helpful. It's in practicality they are very helpful, and I can say it's been 7-8 months we have raised fund. I think this question has been asked many times, and normally I say कि वो इंसान बना रहे हैं, because there is a set of knowledge which I had, but I want to learn more and more. And I think they bring that, and everyone should try to raise investment, because that helps you in scalability. Also, coming an investor in your company, that will make your company more structured, more transparent, where other can believe. When you think of an IPO, and if you already have an investor, I think consumer start trusting them. If you see Shark Tank and when you get investment, it's just not giving you investment. It's spreading trust among the consumer who are seeing your pitch about your brand. Because if they have believed in you, consumers start believing in you, others start believing in you.
Yeah.
So I think everyone should, try to get investor. Depends, like when we'll talk with them, you'll come to know that how they are nature wise, how aggressively they want to invest in your company. But if you get chance, I think everyone should go for that.
Got you. So you're saying that it's a myth for a founder to say that, an
Yeah,
investor can
it's
go.
a myth, because why anyone would not like to have, fund in their company if someone is ready to invest at a good value. The idea is, most of the time the founder is afraid of corporate governance, maybe is afraid that we won't able to, work in a very transparent way. So there can be multiple reasons.
Okay.
It's just not that someone will have control. No one gonna have control, because they have multiple,
Yeah, his job is to manage money,
money,
not businesses
not,
in the first place,
company. Take advice,
yeah.
make them your part, improve your company, make it more structure. You grow. They come for a very short period of time. They are not there to stay in your company for the long run. They are in your company for 4-5 years. They just want a good exit.
Yeah.
But if they come, your company will be more structure. You'll be trusted by not only the consumer, about, I think, other investor.
Because you're benchmarked.
Yeah.
You're benchmarked. You're benchmarked for a consumer. You're benchmarked for a
Because you have gone
banker.
through a strong diligence process. And investor won't come in any company where they find the company is not performing in a proper way.
Yeah.
The company compliances are not proper. If they can see some here and there in the company, so they won't come. So it gives you so many ticks to have an investor. And I think it's really a myth that they'll come and they'll try to take your company. They are just there because they believe in your product, and they think that, okay, this brand can go, or this startup can grow, with multiple X. So that's why they are here. They are not there to just grab your company.
So at ZOFF, when we talk to a lot of businesses of your size, privately controlled, one of the myth, or I would say one of the thought process that comes out is that not every investor is going to be the one who's going to be helping me, and there can be control issues, and the control is not about they taking over the business. Is more about me having the flexibility of taking my own decisions.
So there might be case to case. See, everyone is not same. Even I cannot, give a guarantee that every investor is same. But when you talk, you come to know that what type of investor they are. Are they helpful? What's their vision? How they want you to perform? So you need to understand how you hire people in a company. There's a trust. You believe in someone and they join you. Similarly, when you're talking to investor, you have to judge that how effectively they are. If you feel they are not okay for you, maybe you can look for another investor. But
makes sense. Yeah.
But it's not a common
stereotyping is not a right.
Yeah, it's not the right statement or right belief. Everyone should see that what's the purpose, what exactly you need in a company, and whether the investor is bringing that or not. And it's a marriage. Means how a normal marriage happens. Investor putting money in your company is a marriage, and you need to or you will have so many ups and downs, but you have to go along together because the intention is right. Like in a marriage, there's intention to have a good life. Similarly, when an investor comes, the intention is to grow company. Even you want to grow a company, when they want to grow a company.
Yeah.
So the intention is right. It's just about some differences that we need to sort it out. That's it.
India is seeing massive growth coming in from the tier 2 and tier 3 cities. We are also building ZOFF from Raipur, which is primarily known for steel, but not many structured businesses or invested businesses. And I've seen you being very candid about how you are seeing huge growth coming in from those cities, and the expectation should be that a lot of new businesses, big businesses, are going to be built from that. What is your view around this?
See, 80% population lives in tier 2, tier 3 cities in India. Their problems are different. their needs are different. Some ideas which will work in metros or big cities won't work in small cities. So the idea is also different. And today, if you see, everyone is so connected across the nation, whichever city you stay. You have been exposed to everything through social media. And today's tier 2, tier 3 consumer, even like they are also going abroad for their studies, they are also traveling, they are also getting the exposure. So it's not that the ideas only come from tier 1 cities. There are so many ideas, so many good ideas, and you have seen there are so many good entrepreneurs, they have created good businesses from small cities. Sometimes what happens is there's good idea, but I think parents, they are not supporting that level. There are good ideas, but I think the resource is not available. So that's why I think tier 2, tier 3 cities, you see limited businesses, they are scaling at that level. But if you see the entire nation where this idea is being generated from small cities, you will see that there are so many ideas. It's just about the gut of a founder. You have to start. Some founders, they don't start because they feel everything is being happening in tier 1 cities, but it's not the case. In recent times, if you see, even if you see Shark Tank, there are like 30-40% founders that are coming from small cities. So I think this is also a myth that big ideas can't come from small cities, but I think we have been witnessing this. And I think for founders who have good ideas, who have belief, who have strong mindset, and this is the right time, because there are opportunities also and there are challenges also. You get talent at low cost. If you are not able to get those talent, there are consultants who can really help you. So in our case, if you see, we have talents for some of the departments where we feel that we don't have that level of talent because we have our office in Raipur, it's a small city. So we try to, outsource so that we get that level of expertise which normally the founders are getting in a tier 1 cities. So it solves the problem. So the idea is going ahead, there will be many ideas, many good startups that will be built in small cities. It's just that check whatever is needed. A problem can be solved, like a facility which a founder gets in tier 1, definitely they won't be able to get that in tier 2, but it doesn't mean that cannot be solved.
But the competition probably is also not that big.
Competition is not big. You can start with small resource because a big place need lots of investment, lots of expenses. I think in small places you can start from small amount. So that's also help. It's just about reaching to a certain level, and then you start grabbing whatever is required for your startup. Maybe you can travel, maybe you can have some few resource sitting in a tier 2, tier 1 cities, maybe in some co-working area, like how we are doing. We wanted to create a marketing team. We thought Raipur is not a suitable location. We have some team member like in tier 1. So it will be a mixed match. I won't say they have the entire full advantage between these tier 1, tier 3 cities. There will be some pros, some cons, but I think this can be managed.
Got you. At ZOFF, we are working with a number of businesses coming in from, so to say, smaller cities. And we see most of them are the ones which are coming in from smaller cities, but serving pan India in most of the cases, even serving the tier 1 cities. For example, ZOFF. So while you are coming in from Raipur, I guess the majority of sales still happens in the tier 1 cities of India.
So right? I think 70% sales is happening in tier 1 cities.
Yeah. So coming in from a smaller city, but ultimately using using that consumer which is there.
Yeah, exactly. So as I said, like it will be a mixed match of various things. It's just not about cities, or it's just about strong mindset to start something take whatever is needed. If something is available in your city, it's okay, grab that. If something is not available, go to a big city, try to get that part from that city. So it can be a combination of efforts which you do, but yeah, as population is high, it means the ideas is also high. It's just about just starting from that small cities without thinking that you can do it or not.
Got you, got you. And in terms of, and you've touched upon it, in terms of the expertise, obviously, a smaller business, the promoter, the founder himself can actually do a lot of things. But once you start scaling up, once you've trying to create something which is investment ready, you need a lot of expertise, in building it, right? One person cannot do about everything. And part of it you've already touched upon, but how has been your experience in fetching the right set of expertise, uh, full time, part time, in whatever way, but having the right set of talent being available in a tier 2 or a tier 3 city, which is probably much easily available in a metro, but obviously because of the multiple factors, the smaller cities tend to get that a bit less.
So as I mentioned that whatever resource you can get in your city, just have that. Whatever you are not able to get and you feel that okay, better talent we can get outside your city, I think you can go for that. In our case, we have our team in Raipur also, and we have multiple consultants working with us. So even I came across that there's a model where there are consultants who work in a board model, build, operate, deliver. So they will just help you in building the system, processes, in hiring, maybe taking your company to a certain level. They might take 1 year, 2 year, or 3 year, and after that, if everything's aligned, maybe you can take that forward. So we are also trying to do this in the same way. Wherever we feel that we don't have that level of expertise, so we try to start working with the consultants, because today I think there are various consultants who has experience of 20, 25 years, 30 years, and they have just started passing on their experience to startups. So it's cost effective also, because if you are going to hire someone of that caliber, you need to pay in cross. But when you are just taking that experience part, helping you, it's being delivered at a very low cost. So I think that's a very beautiful model which has come across, and I think we have started taking such consistency in various departments.
So at ZOFF, actually, this is the exact work that we do, wherein we say that not everything that you need is to be done by somebody in-house. You can actually take an expert support in getting that particular work done, and in a beautiful BOT model wherein this guy comes in with a team, build it, operate it for you, and transfer it back to you, which effectively means that that there is somebody who's coming in with a very steep learning curve, because he's probably dealt with a business much larger than mine.
Exactly.
And has come in along with a team, which means that it is just not an advisory or a consulting, it's real quality work delivered.
I think that's a great model, and I think whoever is looking for this, I think they should try this, maybe reach out to few consultants or few people who can really help them, because founder cannot do everything. They need help in various departments. As you grow, you learn with the experiences, but you need to have right set of people at every stage. Otherwise, the growth won't be at that level which you are thinking at.
And I guess this takes me to the next, question that I've always had, with people who are scaling up, because as a founder who had started something, you've been the chief everything officer, about everything falls upon you.
Exactly.
And then comes a stage wherein ideally you are spending most of your time in building the brand, building the personal and the business's brand, talking to the investors, which effectively means that most of the heavy load that you were working on is something that has to be done by somebody else. How does that collaboration or delegation comes into play? When does a founder start saying that I need to delegate my work? If I were to do about everything, it just doesn't work with me. At what stage did you start finding that as a necessity, and what is your suggestion towards it?
So when you start a startup, as you mentioned, everything has to be done by the founder. because there will be so many challenges in every department, which a founder should know that, okay, these are the challenges and we have dealt this in this way. I think our journey was full of challenges. We started from something else. We pivoted also. We have seen ups and downs.
Yeah.
Last 3 years has been really good because we started scaling up with our mistakes, with our learnings, whatever we went through in our initial years. Operations is something, after a certain stage, founders to come out from that. Because it takes loads and loads of time, and it really, what I can say, doesn't allow you to think in a different way where you can get that scale. So maybe first few initial years where you feel that, okay, you have to create everything, you are involved in the operations, maybe you can do whatever is required. But after a stage, that stage can be after 2 years or 4 years, where you feel, okay, your systems are built. Now you can pass on the operation part to a team. You have a system processes, you have easily delegate. Then a founder should come out from the operations. A founder part is sales. The way a founder can do a sales, no one can do. So they should focus only on the sales part, having a system where he's just able to check what's going on the operation part. If any suggestion is required, that can be passed on. But because operations has a steady process, you follow that, your things will be on track. Sales is which is dynamic. You need to improve your sales. You need to improve your margins. So that's the part where founders should work at. So today, as we have systems aligned, we have so many consultants, I think I've been trying to, stay away from the operations. And going ahead, my major part will be to how to improve sales, how to raise fund for the company, how to scale by having proper branding, proper marketing. So that is the part where I'll be there. Any founder should, start doing that after a certain stage when a founder feels that, okay, operation is being in control and that can be delegated.
So have spend some time, have a right partner or employee, delegate and collaborate, make sure that it is stable, and then start moving.
Exactly. So it's a process, team building process, where you need to have someone who can just take that part, take the responsibility. And with system and processes, I think this can easily be delegated. When your company doesn't have that system, I think you are afraid of transferring it. But when you have system in place, I think it's become easy. So it's just the innovation of founder, that how it will happen if I'll transfer this. I think it happens in a much better way.
Oh yes.
Because some parts are made for someone.
Oh yes.
You do your part, which is sales, because company needs revenue.
Yes.
Then only you will grow. So just focus on that part.
Bigger question is that, while you were managing your operations, if you miss an opportunity, that's a much bigger loss.
Yeah, you can say. Because your part was to focus more on sales and you were involved in something which is not giving that value.
Oh yes.
So, and this has been the real picture. Like sometimes your team performs in a better way when such type of things happens, because that's the operation part has a process. 80-90% part will be same. Sales part is dynamic, or maybe the financial part is dynamic, marketing part is dynamic, because you need to think in a different way. So let the thinking part has to be done by the founder. Rest part, the team can easily take it.
Makes sense. Makes perfect sense. So you've, once as we move towards the end of our, discussion today, there are some fun questions that I would want to ask you. And I know that you've been a fan of cricket. You own a cricket team as well out there in Raipur, and you love ZOFF.
Yeah.
So if I were to mix both of them, if you were to have a cricket celebrity as a brand partner of ZOFF, who would that be and why?
So see, ZOFF is all about health, all about fitness. If you see Today is our brand ambassador Shilpa Shetty is also about the health, the personality. So today, if you see in today's India cricket team, I think there is no one fitter than Virat Kohli. The aggression, the fitness, the way he carries himself. So I think for ZOFF today, if in cricketer, if someone wants to represent ZOFF, I think it has to be Virat Kohli.
And a politician?
Politicians, yeah, I'm a big fan of Modi ji. So I think I just admire him. So I know only one name in politics. I think Modi ji.
Good one. If you were to sell one masala, I know that there are, there is a big list of SKUs that you work for. If you were to sell one masala for the rest of your life, which one would that be and why?
So garam masala whole. So that's our product, which has like more than 10 to 15 spices. You can use it separately. You can grind it as per your own taste. Let's say if you don't want black pepper, you can remove that. You can grind garam masala. You'll get the taste without black pepper. If you want more black pepper, just put more pieces of black pepper. So it's such a product which is versatile and can be used in many ways. So garam masala whole, if garam masala whole is there, you can consider that your 10-15 products are in the shelf of a consumer kitchen.
So you're relating that to a founder. So let's get on a rapid fire, a few questions, some quirkier one. जो फर्स्ट माइंड में आता है, let's just hear that out.
Okay.
LinkedIn or Insta?
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn or a physical meeting?
Physical meeting.
Physical meeting or a conference call?
Physical meeting.
Physical meeting or a family get together?
Family get together.
Family get together or a party?
Family get together.
Family get together or extended family get together?
Extended family get together.
A sport that you play?
Cricket.
A sport that you like?
Cricket.
Which format of cricket?
T20.
Best batsman?
Virat Kohli.
Best bowler?
Jasprit Bumrah.
Best team?
India.
Dream captain?
Rohit Sharma.
The best woman batsman?
Smriti Mandhana.
Great. Thanks a lot, Akash, for giving us this beautiful time that we have spent together. Number of insights that we've got talking to Akash today. Thanks a lot. Be with us for the next session of ours. Thank you.
Thank you, Ranji, for inviting me again.